Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapins.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we find ourselves here at the Parker rooftop. Just love this place. It's so beautiful.
And we've timed it perfectly because, of course, the patio, they've taken the tents down now, so you're just a beautiful place. Great, and you got 3 patios here, so you can't go wrong in a great spot.
But with all that said, Jim?
Let's get to this edition of Our City Tonight. She has been part of the Vancouver and Canadian media landscape for over 25 years. She's also a good friend of the show, back here for the first time since 2022.
I can't believe that. Why did we?
Erin Sedley. Well, she's very important, as you know. Can't get. Anyway, our old friend Erin Sedley.
I can't believe it took me so long to be on the show, like 2022. I mean, I should have been on earlier
I
than
think
that.
you kept canceling us.
No way, I would never do that.
She is here. You recognize her and a lot of different things that she does. It is a great pleasure to have you. Erin, welcome back. A long career here in this city, in this country.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
We want to talk about it. I'm going to start with throwing you under the bus. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yes.
I think I know where this is going.
Noticed her beautiful face on many of our Vancouver buses.
Yes, my very large face and body plastered around the city. Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie. Yes, lucky enough to be asked to become the spokesperson for Capital Direct. I guess I must be 3-4 years now. I'm bad with time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And 2 years in, I believe, I was just walking down the street and there goes a bus. I'm like, we never discussed it.
It's okay. That's all right. Yes.
I'm not displeased because it's nice to be, people will remember me, but a little bit of a surprise to see yourself like
That's big.
10 feet,
It's a big.
going by on a bus and like
You're in downtown Vancouver. Look for it because
people are
obviously
touching me as they press the door to go open. It's a little interesting.
It's wonderful.
We kid you, but you've been in the business a long time, as we both have. That you have pivoted a number of times because things come in, things leave, and doing that gig. We should also talk about your work with BC Children's Hospital Foundation Dream Lottery. That must be very rewarding.
It is. Yeah, I'm really lucky. I think this year is my 20th, but it could be 21st once again. I'm not great with dates.
Wow.
But yeah, that job came along at the perfect time because I was working at ET Canada at the time. And it's a fun and glamorous job, but let's just, it's not always as fulfilling as it could be.
Yeah.
In that way. And when that position came along, I'm like, oh, great. Okay, so I get to use my skills as a broadcaster to help raise money for BC Children's. It's such a positive, win-win in every element, right? So, so I think this might be year 21 for me. And since I've been involved, I'm sure we've raised close to $200 million for BC Children's.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you glanced past the entertainment tonight. I mean, that was your starting point where you started getting recognized as a reporter and the host.
That was a big break because it was a national show and it was like, I had a list. I was one of those kids. I believe in manifestation. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it was that thing that got checked off that I thought could happen, but I didn't even think it was really possible.
Yeah.
But I actually started on Urban Rush. That was I would say that was more my, the big break because all of a sudden, we worked together.
Yeah.
Like hosting a 1-hour live talk show
Daily.
Was the ultimate boot camp. There wasn't a lot of guidance, but there was also a ton of freedom in that show. We were kind of able to do what we wanted.
Yeah.
And I learned so much. And from that, I was let go, or my contract wasn't renewed, and I thought my career was over. And then Global, who I had worked for before Urban Rush as a community reporter, were like, why don't you come back? We feel like there might be something coming down the line for you. And I didn't even know what it was.
Right.
And I said, okay, I'd love to come back. And all of a sudden, then ET Canada was announced and I was a West Coast correspondent. I'm like, I'm kind of glad Urban Rush didn't renew my contract because it never would have happened, right? Yeah, and ET Canada was 14 years for me. I wasn't there till the very end, and now the show is off the air.
Yeah.
I had a good run. I did so many things. The travel was incredible. That's what I always.
Yeah, we're talking about you went on a location with Survivor.
Yeah.
You know what? I've just become a recent fan of all things. I'm watching the 50th.
Oh, cool.
Tell us a little bit about that, just because.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah. Well, Survivor was also one of my favorite shows when it first came out.
Changed TV.
99. Oh,
Changed
absolutely.
TV.
And as a producer and as an on-camera, it was fascinating to me. I was very into it, and I always said one day, Like I had this, one of those manifestation moments of like one day, and I was interviewing Jeff Probst at one of the CBS junkets where you interview like all the people from all the shows. And we just got on really well, and he was my last interview of the day, and I was his last interviewer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways, we were the last of the day, and we just started chatting. And I told him, we were off camera, and I was just what a huge fan I've always been. How I admire how we went from a host to an EP, and like just kept the show going and kept it fresh. And I kind of just cheekily said, invite me to set. He's like, you love it? Like, would you ever do it? I'm like, absolutely, I'd try it all.
Yeah.
And I just cheekily did that, and we exchanged emails because I also had produced a pilot that I wanted him to look at and critique for me, and he said he would. And we just had this conversation, and 3 months later, I was on the set. I was going to Cambodia with absolutely no idea what was happening.
Wow.
Terrifying, hardest thing I've ever done. We shot a half-an-hour special for the network.
Wow.
And I ate a scorpion. I did the challenges. The only thing I didn't do was like sleep on the sand at night. Like I had a roof over my head. But it was really
don't
crazy.
Tell us that.
I know. But and then I went back 2 more times in Fiji, where they're now based.
We should also mention AaronSebula.com.
Oh yeah,
Website.
I love website.
There you go.
I know. I haven't updated it too much recently, but yeah, it's fun actually. Every once in a while I go on, I'm like, I should do some new things. But I look back, like my reel with all my travel and like all those red carpets and everything. It almost feels like a fever dream. I'm like, I don't even remember that happening, But yeah, lots of experience.
Social media as well?
Yeah, I do quite a bit. I'm not driven towards the influencer space. There's a lot about it I don't like, but I do have some contracts with certain people, and I do a little bit of work in that sphere. I just approach it like storytelling, like cutting stories for global, or like I just look at it that way.
Perfect.
Right? Just telling good stories.
I know you can't say this. We were talking about this before. Little tease.
Something coming up.
Yes, for the last. I'm going to give you a long answer, sorry.
It's okay.
For the last, since ET ended, I put a lot of my energy and attention towards Blue Realty, which is the real estate brokerage my husband and I run together. And I've enjoyed it. I like doing the videos. I love architecture. I love beautiful homes. So there's been a good fit there for me, but I haven't been able to be on camera and doing what I do and asking questions and telling stories that way. And something has just happened this week where all of my loves are coming together for something that could be really big, and I'm very excited, and I wish I could say more, but nothing has been, nothing's signed, sealed, delivered yet. But yeah, travel, architecture, real estate, all kind of coming together. Good storytelling.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it could be huge, and I know it's going to be fun.
Excellent.
Yes.
Hey, our old friend, it's Aaron Sebula. You know her, you love her. Bus shelters, buses, everything, it's all there. She's got it going on.
Say old friend, that's not a good thing to say.
But see, I've known you since, I want to say the late 90s, or early 2000s maybe.
I think we met in around 2000.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a long time. It's okay, we can say old friends.
Yes.
I'm not bothered by those terms. I'm just like happy to be alive, happy to still be somewhat relevant and working. It's fine.
Excellent. There she is, Aaron Sebula.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
We just wanted to take a moment to celebrate one of our long-term partners.
Well, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary last year. Our friends at the Richmond Sentinel are celebrating their 10th anniversary right now. Lita, they have been with us for a very, very long time. And they're a good publication. And I would say in a time when local newspapers are disappearing, it's nice to see one still around.
It is, and we love writing our column for the Richmond Sentinel, as well as a few other items we add once in a while.
That's right, and some great stories in there. Recently, Nathan Rourke on the cover. We had one of our guests, Natasha Burnett, on the cover, and a story inside. So lots of great stuff to read. There's men's fashion. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, congratulations to our friends at the Richmond Sentinel. You can pick up a copy or look online, richmondsentinel.ca. Well, we're here at the Wine Bar, street level, just below Hydra. They're all part of the same restaurant group. This is a very cool spot to be in. We're here for another wine moment. Joining us today, and it's a spotlight on Argentina, is Bemberg Estate Wines. Lita is with their award-winning winemaker, Daniel Pye. Lita, take it away.
Well, thanks, Jim, and I am delighted to welcome Daniel Pye to our city tonight. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me Lita to this evening. I am very pleased to show what I'm doing in Argentina.
You are doing some amazing things in Argentina. In fact, as Jim mentioned, you've won Winemaker of the Year. But we want to know a little the history of Bamberg Estate Wine. So let's talk about the winery itself.
Okay. Well, the Bamberg Estate Wine belongs to the Bamberg family.
Mm-hmm.
The Bamberg family established in Argentina around 1855.
Wow.
So it's a long time ago. And they've been doing a lot of businesses. And lately, let's say the fifth generation, because it's something unique to have a family running businesses together for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So the fifth generation finally decided to create a winery, a brand, and uses the best grapes because they own the largest winery in Argentina.
3,500 hectares.
Yes. they
Yes,
have.
that's giant.
And I was for over 30 years the head winemaker and viticulturist of the whole group.
Wow.
So I knew exactly from where the best grapes were coming and how to make the best wines. So I've been doing wine for them and the family and friends, wine for many years. And with these wines, they decided, okay, one day we will go into the market. And in 2016, the fifth generation decided we will build a winery and we will proudly put our name in the label.
Why don't we talk about what makes it special? I was reading, you concentrate on micro terroir. Can you, before we jump into the wine, can you tell our audience what that means?
Yeah, well, the winery is based in Gualtallarí. It's a special location in the Uco Valley, which is the largest appellation of Argentina, well known for producing the best wines. But Gualtallarí is an appellation inside the Uco Valley, which is very, very unique. So that's why we decided to build the winery in this place. And the most important thing of this place, of Gualtallarí, it's the soil.
So this is your Chardonnay, one of the special ones. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Coming to the micro terroir or something like this, what you were asking, this particular wine is made with a spot into the block number 1 and number 2 of Chardonnay that we do have. We don't use all the grapes of the block. We use a singular part of the block, which is the most shallow. So we were talking about different depth of the soil, different of the topsoil. So this one is shallower, so it has around 20 centimeters or less. And this makes unique this wine. That's why we call micro terroir, because it's not a bigger terroir. We are using a portion into the parcel for making the wine. And this wine is made in a very peculiar way. I have to say, we pick the grapes in 3 different moments. So we pick the grape, let's say moment 0, when it's about 12% alcohol potential. And we will ferment this in a concrete egg. Then we wait 1 week, and after a week we pick the grapes. We make a second harvest, and we crush and ferment this in a foudre. Foudre is a large format of barrel. It's about 3,000 liters. And we wait another week. So it's from moment 0 to moment 3, or from moment 0 to 2, we have 14 days. And this these grapes were going into barrels. So we use 500 liter barrels. We don't use the standard 225. That's why we don't wanna have a very strong character of oak into the wine. So we wanna show the place, which is what, as I told you, the place, the altitude, the type of soil, the way we make, which is also a little bit unusual because we made it in the natural way. That means that we let the fermentation start spontaneously. We don't add any culture yeast. So we let the natural yeast that were coming with the grapes to ferment the wine.
Perfect.
So we are putting into the bottle our landscape. This is
Perfect.
the way that we want to.
That's amazing. We're going to have Joel pour our next wine.
Yes, please.
So we have the new wine in front of us, a beautiful Pinot Noir, and you're saying this is one of your favorites. Tell us a bit about what makes this special.
Well, everybody knows, all the winemakers know that Pinot Noir is the most challenging grape variety to grow and the wine to be made. So we use again the spontaneous fermentation, and we don't use any cultured yeast, whatever. It's keeping the same style of no intervention. But this wine is coming from grapes grown in Los Árboles, in a vineyard which is into the mountains, in the Uco Valley, but into the mountains. And the main difference in between this place and the Chardonnay is it rains 3 times more than in the place of the Chardonnay. So here we have like 600 millimeters of rainfall, and we don't need to irrigate. It's something unique for us in Argentina, because we have a kind of desertic climate. And being in a place with a lot of humidity, to grow Pinot Noir, Pinot loves more humid soils, so, well, makes it beautiful wine.
Okay, Joel has done his magic, and we have the last 2 wines here in the Bemberg Estate wines. Let's start, well, as you said, with the Malbec.
Yeah, Malbec. Malbec is the grape variety of Argentina. So everybody, when speaks about Argentina, probably they think about Malbec. And Malbec has been in Argentina since the middle of the 1800s. So our president at that moment, he looked what the type of wine the people were drinking in Buenos Aires. And in Buenos Aires, I did a research, I have to say, because I am very keen on that.
Of course.
So the American Association of Wine Economics, whatever, and they say that they found some papers saying that in 1860, the second destination of Bordeaux wines after UK was Argentina. So we were surprised. Argentina was a heavy drinker of Bordeaux wines. And in 1860, we have a lot of immigration into Argentina. So this president was building the railway that communicates Buenos Aires with Mendoza, and he hired the services of a French viticulturist, and he brought the cuttings of what was grown in Bordeaux at that time.
Interesting.
And at the same time, we have a lot of Italians and Spanish came into Argentina. But he said, no, you will not plant any Tempranillo or Sangiovese. You have to plant these grape varieties coming from France.
Good.
So we have Malbec since that time, which was very, very well adapted to our climate, planted in the same place as the Chardonnay in Gualtallarí.
Wonderful.
1,300 meters, deep color, nice for having with a nice piece of beef in a barbecue.
Oh, that is delicious. I'm eyeballing Mark from behind the camera there. I know he will definitely want to have a sip of that. That is delicious. Okay, I'd love to talk more about. Let's move to the last one. This is a real specialty one.
Yes, it's an honor to Otto Bember. Otto Bember, who arrived in Argentina in 1855. So he used to drink Bordeaux wines because at that time was the wine that was drank in Argentina. So I tried to make my free interpretation of what could be the wine that Otto Bember was drinking in 1855. So what I did is a blend of Malbec, basically, about 50% Malbec, 35% of Cabernet Sauvignon, and 15% of Cabernet Franc. This is the 18 months on new French oak barrels, made with passion and heart, and it's a beautiful blend of what we think was the wine that was in Argentina in the early days.
Wow, what a difference. What a delightful wine. Oh, it's so fun to do these wine moments with and learn so much about these incredible wines. And congratulations on your award, Winemaker of the Year.
Okay, thank you very much.
And we can certainly see why this award has been presented.
Thank you, Rita.
Delicious wines, and they are available here
Yes, of
in
course.
BC. We're
Yes,
so
they are.
thrilled. All right. Well, I'm sure, well, I will certainly be encouraging people, our audience will check out
Okay.
the Bemberg Estate Wines, Daniel Pye, their award-winning winemaker. Thanks for joining us on Our City
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank you, Alita.
This wine moment was brought to you by Bemberg Estate Wines, showcasing Argentina's finest high-altitude vineyards, one bottle at a time.
Some promotional considerations provided by Star Wild Domes. Luxury in nature, transforming outdoor spaces into extraordinary destinations. For more information, go to starwilddomes.com.
Hey, just a reminder to check out the print digital version of Our City Tonight in the latest edition of Iconic Concierge magazine.
Yeah, we love partnering with this great luxury magazine. You can find it pretty much where?
Oh, everywhere. Luxury hotels, great bars. It's everywhere. It's a good-looking magazine. We're proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, and the actual column in Iconic Concierge magazine is a little touch, a little taste of what Our City Tonight is doing out and about in our city.
That's right. Check out the latest edition. It's available now. There's a great new Canadian movie that's out now called At the Place of Ghost. Here's a peek.
I saw him.
Both swore that we'd never talk about this.
If he can get to me in the city, he's already at your back door. You take care of him, and we can both get back to our own lives.
Well, there it is. A great new film, as I mentioned. At the Place of Ghosts, we're joined now by the writer-director. It's Bretton Hannum. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Congratulations on this film. I told you before we went on camera, I really enjoyed this. This is a very interesting, unique film. Give our viewers a bit of a synopsis.
It's sort of like a road movie, but not.
Yeah.
It all takes place in the forest, but it's about two estranged siblings. They haven't seen each other in forever, years and years, and they have this dark secret that's literally becomes unearthed and begins to haunt them.
Yeah.
And they have to team up together to go back into the woods to face it head on. And along the way they see things.
Yeah, I've got to say, one of the aspects of this film that I really enjoyed was just the way you, for lack of a better phrase, I think I wrote down, like, you collapse time. I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but once they get in that rope, their canoe, what they see that is not so much frightening, because this, you look at the trailer, you're thinking this is a horror film. It has elements of that fantasy and everything, but what they experience along the way just seems like it's part of the journey, and they're just. Talk a little bit more about that. I love it's historic, it's current, it's a ways back, but then even ancestrally further back.
Yeah, I mean, it's based on notions of thinking about time and relationships sort of in a non-linear fashion, through like traditional oral storytelling, like Mi'kmaq storytelling.
Yeah.
Things move in cycles and seasons instead of past, present, future.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a journey through all of these different historical moments or relationships that have taken place on the land and in the characters' lives.
Yeah, and you really, as I said, it's so interesting because you have the two brothers, who I'm going to say in their 20s, around that.
Yeah.
Seeing their younger selves, watching them while they're watching them. It's so, as I said, it's a really interesting use of time and history, which I found fascinating. I said to you as well, the great director David Lean, who always seemed to bring locations to you, Zhivago, Lawrence of Arabia, A Bridge on the River Kwai. I bring his name up because you would always say that his locations and settings were characters almost. I feel that too with your film, that the forest is one of the lead characters in this film.
Yeah, I think you could say that quite fairly.
Yeah.
In a way, it's sort of the central piece of everything.
Yeah.
An early teaching that I remember hearing was that the forests, the land, gives us everything that we need: medicine, like animals, food, plants. Those are our teachers. So taking that to, I guess, a meta level or a filmmaking level, the characters go into this forest and it gives them what they need, and what they need is to confront this part of themselves or this thing that happened. So it's ever present, it's everywhere, and it's sort of always supplying them a path forward, or like, don't go here, go here. And it's not, actively, talking, obviously, or sort of purposefully making confrontation happen. Was giving an option there. So that's I guess the motivation for that character.
Yeah, I think what I like too is that there are, and again, I'm not trying to give away much here, but there are characters along the way that, as you said, say you are safe here, which was very comforting, I found.
Yeah, it's sort of all about relationships with the past, with the future. So backwards and forwards, I guess, from our perspective. But definitely one of the interesting aspects with those type of characters was treating them sort of in a matter-of-fact way. They are, I will say, otherworldly. It's very difficult to talk sometimes without giving away.
No, I'm trying, but I like what you said as matter-of-factly, because there's no jarring sense with these elements come into play. Sorry, folks, we're trying not to give anything away here, but it's just the way you've laid it out. And as I said to you earlier, it's such a lean film that within the first 5 to 6 minutes, you know that this character is going to go on a journey, and his brother's there, and this is what's got to happen. Again, don't want to give away much, but boy, your conclusion, your peak moments emotionally were fantastically laid out. I've got to give good credit on that one.
Thanks.
This is a wonderful film, folks. Support Canadian film at the Place of Ghosts. It's Bretton Hannum. He is the writer-director. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Closed captioning and other promotional considerations provided by Hamilton High Street Senior Residence, Richmond's newest senior living community.
Oh my, it's so good to see the patio up in full bloom back here at the Parker where we began the show.
Yes, and this is just such a great place to come summer, winter, whenever, actually.
It is, great patios and a great lounge, as you can see here, a great bar too, just over there.
You would know that.
I would, yes. Anyway, if you have any questions for us or comments, info@ourcitytonightTV.com. And of course, check out our website, ourcitytonightTV.com. I'm Jim Gordon.
Lita Leapin.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Visit ourcitytonightTV.com for all the latest episodes, segments, and our new podcast. And please be sure to like and subscribe.
The Richmond Sentinel, providing news, entertainment, and human interest stories in print and online.